Hi there, this is Steve Howard, your Executive Director with a quick union update. I'm here today at the White River Junction State Office Building where we just had a very successful, well-attended chapter meeting. If you haven't attended a chapter meeting, please plan to do so. If you need to know the information about your chapter, email us at vsca@vsca.org. Just want to begin today by saying Happy Memorial Day and to remember the service of so many of our members and so many folks who made the ultimate sacrifice on behalf of our country and in pursuit of a better world. And I just want to make sure that you all understand we appreciate your service and we appreciate all that you've done and given up and sacrificed for us. On the union front, we have some good news. The VSEA fought hard and was the lead backer of S89, which is a bill that expands survivors' benefit to the family members of correctional officers, law enforcement officers, family service workers, and mental health professionals who die in the line of duty. Our members do some of the most dangerous work there is to do on behalf of Vermonters, protecting children, taking care of people, protecting the public safety. And we want to make sure that if something should happen, we hope it never does, that you know that your union and the state are there for your families if that should occur. So we're happy to see that the governor signed the bill and it is now the law. So I know that there's been some talk in the press about a potential government shutdown, and I thought we would take a moment just to address some of those concerns that people have. It is unclear whether this is really going to occur. The governor has threatened to veto the state budget in order to get another piece of legislation that he wants dealing with property taxes and school boundaries passed out of the State House. There's a disagreement between the legislature and the governor on how best to structure our school districts, how best to reduce the cost of education. And the governor has said that if he doesn't get his plan, he plans to hold the legislature hostage and the state hostage until they pass a bill that he can sign. That would occur in late June. June 30th is the last day of the fiscal year. Folks may know that President Crowley sent a letter to the legislative leaders and to the governor demanding that they agree that if there was a government shutdown, that at least the legislature would adopt, the governor would sign legislation to make sure that state employees receive their pay. And as she said, quite rightly, that state employees should not be a pawn in the fight between the governor and the legislature. That's an issue that we're watching very carefully, and we will keep you apprised. We may also ask you to start calling your legislators and calling the governor and telling them that you want them to resolve their differences without making state employees a pawn in their battle. We know that you work hard serving the public, you put your lives at risk in many cases, and at the very least, the governor and the state legislature here in Vermont should make sure that you get compensated. Now, a lot of people want to know, what is this bill that the governor wants, and why is he threatening to veto the state budget over it? So property taxes have been a major issue in the state. Property taxes, as they say, are too damn high, and they have been all in agreement that something needs to be done about property taxes. The governor thinks the best approach is to consolidate school districts. There's a lot of concern about that. Both Democrats and Republicans are concerned about it because it closes schools in rural districts, and it would require children to be on bus rides for much longer periods of time. And there's some research that indicates that there isn't a lot of savings in consolidating school districts. So the legislature has taken a different approach, which creates incentives for voluntary mergers of school districts and creates some cooperatives, basically, that would reduce the cost of services that schools are currently paying by coordinating them better between the school districts. But the main driver of a lot of the costs that we have is the out-of-control cost of healthcare in our state. And as you know, VSEA has been on the front lines with our brothers and sisters in the teachers union to push legislation called reference-based pricing that promises to save. The state employees plan nearly $30 million. And if you count the teachers, about $100 million. We've asked that that be applied across the state to try to bring healthcare costs down. You won't bring property taxes down without reducing healthcare costs. There's no way around it. You have to sort of face that issue as well. And the legislature is considering legislation now that would reduce the cost of the teacher's healthcare plan. The bill is S190. If you want to look it up on the state website, you can see it there. So it's complicated. Politics is never easy. We're on top of it at the State House. We're watching it very carefully. President Crowley has already laid down a marker, and we are going to likely ask our members, if we think this is emerging as a real likelihood, we're going to ask our members to mobilize, contact their elected officials, tell them how they feel about being made pawns in this fight. Let's hope it doesn't happen. This is Vermont. This is not Washington, D.C. We should be able to get along and get things done here without having a government shutdown. If you have any questions about this or anything else that we've talked about today or anything we didn't talk about, you can reach me by calling or texting me at 802-793-7930. You can also email me at showard@vsea.org.